How evil can one get before one disappears up one's arsehole? So yes, another contrarian contemplation episode, which I quite like doing at the moment. It's quite fun because I do think of the other side of things and sometimes agree with that more than what I'm told I should believe in about certain topics and subjects and issues. And it's good to entertain the other side. It's good to look at all angles, and you might find the angle that contradicts the original angle that you held so dear as the truth might not feel like the truth once you kind of explore the other side of things. It's good to exercise your intellectuality that way. So yeah, looking at words without an emotional charge, like evil is just seeing evil as a technical term, basically. Like everyone is evil to a certain degree. Like if you eat animals to sustain your life force, that's evil. It's a level of evil. It's, being a predator is evil. So a lot of the in the animal kingdom you will see is kind of an evil thing, really. And that's not to condemn nature, because nature is what it is. We just attach labels and terms and conditions to how we perceive it, don't we? But beyond language and seeing things in that kind of holistic, energetic way, for lack of a better term to use, these words are just labels that help us decode what might be going on in reality, and not to have that kind of charged emotional attachment to these descriptions or descriptive words, because that's all they are, descriptive. They're not reality, because reality isn't words. So evil, what is evil? Can someone be absolutely and completely evil? I don't think they can. I don't think there's such thing as someone that's absolutely evil, because by the time they would announce that to everyone, I'm evil, they would have self-destructed, because the nature of evil is, well, it's live backwards, isn't it? So it kind of goes against the life force rather than is an expansive part of the life force, or is a high conductive aspect of the life force, if you will. So there's only so much. We're talking about degrees of evil, really, and I believe it's more to do with parasitism rather than someone who's going around completely destructive. Do you know what I mean? I think once you're in that inverted evil state, the life has been turned on its arse. The life force has been turned on its arse, and you're kind of no longer an expansive soul, you're more of an inverted black hole. Then you're going to be needing sustenance. You're going to need that life force from outside of yourself, because you've inverted the wellspring within yourself. And who knows how people get to a point of being more evil than they are kind of expanded, than they are kind of a light being. I think it's only because we're in this realm, and the fact that this realm is like a sine wave. You know, we were born into sin, we were born into this sine wave, which activates the 7 deadly sins within our fleshy avatar that we have to kind of not indulge in if we want to power up the spirit man within us, or the spirit woman. And ascend out of these kind of lower ways of operating, become more of our lightness of being, which I think is the true spiritual journey, really. And remember, when it comes to like the frequency or vibration of love and fear, if you remember seeing that, I remember seeing that a long time ago with people doing lectures about how we can, transcend our consciousness and stuff like that. I think it was Greg Braden that did a lecture about the power of prayer, I think it was, and he showed you an image of love being a really fast oscillation and fear being a really slow oscillation, looking like the sine wave, looking like how things are at this level in the realm. Do you know what I mean? So that's why there is a lot of fear and trauma here, because there's a lot of space in between the oscillation that allows for it. And I think that's kind of cool to know that if you're oscillating more at that love frequency, you're leaving no space or gap for any kind of lower self nature to come through. It's like you're resonating at more of a holistic level of things, to where you're immune to the fears that are projected in this world. But with like normal humans, we're dealing a lot with an accumulation of toxicity that they've not bothered to kind of clear from their field. So it's just kind of building up, and they're just walking cesspools of unresolved everything. So you can feel that on them if you're an empath. And then they can tend, too much toxicity can tend to invert you into that more of a parasitic or caustic way of operating. So it's good to look at things in an energetic way, from a bird's eye perception, or with your spiritual eyes, more, rather than just condemning people for being who they are. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a reason why they're there. And you can't be engaging in the same kind of lower toxic kind of levels that they might be expressing if you're dealing with a narcissist or someone with a lot of kind of maybe hidden violence within them, or aggression.